Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. So we got to talk about this, y'all. Look, I want to irritate people. I want to piss people off today because I want to talk about something that nobody ever talks about. And if they do, they're whispering it in the background. What is going on with online stuff? Like, and I mean, when I say online stuff, that sounds so dumb. What's going on with people doing weird stuff and not people not realizing what's going on? Okay, let me explain to you what I mean, right? Because like I'm probably gonna go off on a tangent here. Listen, do you know that majority of people that you see, as content creators are actually doing dirty crap on the side? And when I mean dirty crap on the side, you can be like, oh, you're talking crap enough. Yeah, keep telling me I'm talking crap. But if you went to research it a little bit, you don't even have to research that hard. You'll find this. Okay. For instance, do you know how many content creators that you think are making all this money have OF? Go look it up. You will be surprised at some of these people that have OF. Like, you will be like, damn, I didn't know this person had OF. You will be surprised. I'm telling you, if you got the time and you want to know, check it out. And you could probably sub to them if you want. But what I'm saying is, look, we're living in a world now where it seems like majority of the females really are going into X-rated content. It's like, I guess because life is so hard now, money is tight, food costs so much now. But you'd be surprised how many people you think are making all this money on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that, and they have OF. Like, okay, for instance, right? If you go on X, like, and you look hard enough, you will find so many of those content creators, especially the ones that have, their boyfriend with them, with their husband with them, doing some crazy stuff, man. And it's like, we even had Vlad TV interviewing Sophie Rain, right? And do you remember that the Cash Me Outside girl? She was a rapper. She was also other crap. She got herself some stuff too, right? Got herself an OF. That lady that had that was on American Pie. She's on OF. Like, we're talking about old time actresses, like not old time actresses. What I mean is like actresses that were hot when we were younger, very very attractive. At the tail end of their career, now doing OF stuff, right? So, but then you have like look at like this, right? You have people that even on Instagram, right? Like even this regular people, right? They will put up a picture on their story and they're lounging, they're tanning. And have you noticed that they always take pictures of their feet? Like it's always like you'll see like the sun in the background or the clouds or whatever, right? But then you will see that their foot's in front of it, or when they're on the beach, it's a shot of their feet. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, can you imagine just a random person outside at the beach and you just see these ladies just taking shots of their feet? Or maybe their boyfriends are standing over them with the camera, click, 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 click. And it's like, well, I mean, they don't click anymore, but you know what I'm saying. And it's like, yo, and what even makes it funnier is that some of these females I know, right? So we'll be talking and they just be like, yeah, once I put my feet up there, guys are just hounding me. And they will ignore these dudes. Like, they will literally ignore. And it's the funniest thing because when you are a dude that's begging, they will just ignore you and you just fed their ego. And it's like, dude, what are you guys doing? Stop it. But like, I've met people where they'll want to always go on what is it called? In video chat, right? I hate going on video chat. I don't want people seeing me. Bro, I'll be in my undies sometimes. I don't want to go on no video chat. Anyways, so like, which grown man goes on video chat? To be honest with you, did you ever hear that story with Big Show when he was like he video called Stone Cold? Stone Cold's like, "Why are you video calling me? Men don't do that." And it's like, yo, Stone Cold's that guy. So like, they'll video call me. And then they'll be like showing me their dog, showing me their place and whatever. I mean, these are people like, You might even just meet them. And then all of a sudden, they'll start showing you their feet. Yo, look at my feet. Look how small my feet are, guys. It's like, yo, okay, like, what are we doing here? Like, I didn't ask to see your feet. But anyways, you know, you will have like, there's so many of them that will have OF too, right? Like just regular people that you know that work, in the cubicle next to you, they got an OF. You know what I'm saying? They're on Feet Finder. They're on all types of X-rated stuff to get extra money. And you would think that people that work full time wouldn't bother doing it. But, the way our life is, it makes sense. Then you have the people that you figure do all this content. They wouldn't do it, but they're doing it too. And then I knew one female. She was a basketball star, got injured. I think she tore her ACL or something and had to quit. And I mean basketball star like in college and whatever, right? She now has OF and she's doing all this, content, right? Let's call it content. And she will then try to sell hair products and get mad at people that go to her hair products on Snap and try to get some booty. And she'd be like, this is for my hair. But if you mix the two of them together, what'd you expect? Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, you will have people that will have all this sexual content and then be mad when people are trying to buy the sexual content on Instagram or Facebook. They'll be like, no, we're not doing this. We're doing this on OF. But it's like, yo, money is money, right? Like, wouldn't you talk money on any platform that the money is brought to you? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, to me, it's one of the weirdest things. And like, yo, did you ever see that video where this OF creator, who I've never even knew who this was, just randomly popped up on my news feed, and she had met some dude that was paying for her content, right? And had spent $2 million. And then when he tried to talk to her, she was like, "Oh, I'm uncomfortable being around you. Get away from me." And I'm looking at it like, bro, this guy spent $2 million to then get brushed off. Bro, I mean, $2 million ain't the same it was back in the 90s. Like 2 million was a lot. 2 million ain't as big as it was before. But bro, can you imagine you spent $2 million buying videos, pics of somebody? You're like their biggest fan and they meet you in person and they brush you off? Bro, what? Dude, if you didn't cancel that sub and move on, I'd be so disappointed. Like, I've seen this with people that I knew, like personally, like where you'd have a female. I see men do this too, but we're just talking about the females today. So don't be like, why are you making fun of the females? I'm not making fun of females. Make your money, boo-boo. We're just talking about what's going on. You can't sit there and do the stuff and then be upset when people talk about it. Like, bro, this is something to talk about. This is Nufftingz Speaks, and Nufftingz is speaking. So cool down, boo-boo. Ain't no beef, yo. You know what I'm saying? If I need to, I'll do some Feet Finder too. You could buy some of my feet pics, whatever. Anyways, moving on. So I've known people, and this is even before OF and all that. And what they would do is they would have their boyfriends, right? And they would get into a fight with their boyfriend. And all of a sudden, they put up pictures on, whatever story, whatever platform they're using. And it'll be like a cleavage shot. And then all of a sudden, these guys are like, oh, look at that. And they start, hey, girl, how you doing? I missed you. And then she won't even respond. But, 10 guys do that. Her ego feels good now. It's like, well, if this guy doesn't want me, these 10 guys do. Like that kind of thing. And it's like, yo, you'd look at them and be like, bruh, damn. Like, is that easy, huh? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, is that easy? Damn. I'm sad. Like, I mean, damn, if I was a woman, I'd do it too. I ain't gonna lie. Damn. If you're willing to like pay me just for a cleavage shot, bro, pay up. I got lots of cleavage shots. You know what I'm saying? If I was a girl, woo! But anyways, men do it too, but I don't follow men. So I can't really give you an opinion on the men, but I guess men do it too. Anyways, so my whole thing is like, bro, it's so funny watching, so many of these people. And look, you could say, Nufftingz, you're lying, you're talking crap. Look, man, just Google it. Google will tell you everything you need to know, man. I know streamers that have OF. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying, bro, it's there. Like sometimes, like, okay, let me show it to you like this. When I was younger, right, I knew women that would get mad at their friends if their friends were strippers, right? Oh, I'm never talking to a stripper. And it's like, sometimes they didn't even know that their girls were strippers. Like sometimes you'd have these women that they're close with these girls, they party every weekend, and not know that the girls they're partying with are strippers. Would have no clue. Isn't that the same thing now? You might not even know that your homegirl got an OF. You might not even know that. Bro, there's women out there right now that don't even know they have an OF because their boyfriends are doing it for them. You know what I'm saying? I've been hearing stories of AI generated models that people are actually using and getting paid. It's like, yo, what world do we live in right now, bro? And like, then you sit there and you see the people that have all the pride in the world and all this integrity, and they're not lowering themselves, and they're working at 9 to 5 and miserable as hell because being a good person ain't paying those bills, man. It's not paying those bills, and that's sad. Like, we live in a world now where selling yourself pays the bills. It's wild. Like, even some of them females that get banned from TikTok. Well, not TikTok, sorry. Get banned from Twitch. They were raking in 20 grand a month on Twitch. At least. Like, I saw one of them the other day where she even talked about it. She goes, yo, man, when I was on Twitch, I was making 20 grand a month, and this girl would just be half naked. It's like, damn. I saw another one. She's a big time OF model, Instagram model. I'm not saying their names though. You know. And she did a video where it was so funny. This is how I was exposed to her. It was one where it was like Thanksgiving dinner, and she had, I guess, invited her parents and her family, and she hosted at her house. And she was like saying that she paid for, like, the dad was mad, and then the dad goes, yeah, you paid for this sucking, hoo-hoo. Well, then she got mad. She's like, oh, I can't believe you would say that. And people are like, how could he say such a thing? And it's like, yo, like some of them, they talk about it very vocally and say, look, man, if I have to sell myself to pay my parents' mortgage, I'm gonna do it. And I mean, you gotta respect it, but like me as a father, would I want my kids doing that? No. I mean, I wouldn't. Like, as a dad, you would not want your daughter doing stuff like that. You wouldn't want your son doing stuff like that. You want them to be respectable, right? And you want them to be respectable and respected. You know what I'm saying? So, but then if this stuff pays so much, why would they not do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gotten to that point now where people have to do it. Like, and it's like, do they have, like, I don't know if they have to do it. Maybe, TikTok's not paying, whatever. But I mean, I saw this one person, they were a nurse, and they said nursing wasn't paying nothing. So they started doing, dirty stuff. And it's like, yo, what are we doing? But anyways, like I was saying, like that one with the father thing, right? She was a Twitch streamer too. Wasn't paying the bills and went into X-rated content, and it now has content for days, millions. And it's like, whatever happened to everyone just getting regular jobs? Like, we're in a world now where everyone's a content creator. God, even I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not like them. Like, they're more creative than me. I just do video game stuff and rants like this. But, what happened to, people, being respectable, like being in a respectable career, doctor, lawyer. I mean, lawyers are really not that respectable, but doctor, lawyer, Even people, working construction, building houses, things like that, plumbers, whatever, right? And you say, like, what happened to that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, it's sad that we've got to that point now where, it used to be controversy creates cash. Now it's sex sells, way more. It was always there, but it's in your face now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's a weird thing. You'll never see me do it because I don't got the body for it. But maybe if I was 20, I would. But who knows? I'm an old man now. Ain't nobody want to see my barrel belly. But anywho, I just want to talk about that. I think it's a great little thing to speak up on sometimes because it's a reality. And a lot of times I've learned that people don't even know what's going on. They're so stuck on their own lives and, their families and making money and whatever, that they're not seeing what's actually going on out there and what people are doing out there. But anyways, I'm not hating on anybody. This is not one of those, oh my God, they're stupid. No, it's not that. This is just, just showing people like, yo, what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're going to take this the wrong way, but this is what I've seen. Like I've, dealt with many people, and there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Do what you need to. It's just, this is the reality, right? Like people, $10 for 12 eggs is too much. $10 a pound for medium ground beef, is too much. Kids are costing too much. You can't buy a house anymore. Like houses cost 3 times the amount they should be costing. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's just me talking about what I've seen. And if you want to comment down below and tell me what you've seen, by all means, I'll respond to it. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Another late night chasing down the light for the grind that Nufftingz has to